Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. In today's review, I am taking a look at the stunning Jungles of Mechanus set, exclusive to Character Online. So these Daleks were announced only a couple of weeks ago and they're already here and they look absolutely incredible. And they completely took the internet by storm when they were announced. My Twitter feed just went crazy. It wasn't just collectors of the Doctor Who range that were getting excited, but just Doctor Who fans in general who are so excited to see these Daleks and placing orders because these were some of the most long-awaited Dalek figures ever. And they were Dalek figures that we didn't think we would ever see in the character options line, but here they are. So before we get into what makes these Daleks so exciting, why are they so special, let's begin by taking a look at the packaging. The figures come packaged in a window box display very similar to the History of the Daleks packs that we've seen at B&M. However, this time they're slightly larger, with the Daleks positioned in a different way, giving it more of a bespoke feel that really shows off the Daleks. It features the same current style guide of the white and blue with the TARDIS on the sides, and also features a gold emblem on the front that says that this is a Character Online exclusive. On the back, we get a look at the Daleks themselves, and we have a synopsis for the story, the chase, as well as some information on the Dalek props and their origins in the Doctor Who Dalek movies. As ever, the set includes a lovely diorama backdrop, which is of the Jungles of Mechanus itself, and it also includes a rather large TARDIS off to the side. Absolutely love this. As ever, these diorama backgrounds are really, really fun. They're filled with Easter eggs. So as you can see, you've got some elements taken from the Planet of Evil here, Zeta Minor, and some canisters down here also from the Planet of Evil. And if you check in the shrubbery on the floor, you can even see a teleport bracelet from Blake 7. And we all know that Al Duar is a massive fan of Blake 7, and he's very keen to sneak in those little Blake 7 references here and there. And then if you look into the shrubbery on the left-hand side, you can see there's this red button thing with a silver trim. I have no idea what that's from. I feel like I recognise it, but I can't for the life of me think where. So suggestions in the comments below, please, because it's really bugging me. There's also some Dalek text. And then if you move the TARDIS out of the way, you can see there's a Thal bomb from Planet of the Daleks. So as ever, really love this. Always a lot of fun and a great way to display your figures. So what makes these Daleks so exciting? Well, like I said at the beginning, these are Daleks that we didn't think we would ever see in the character options line. And I'm sure most of you watching will already know this. But for those of you who don't, these Daleks are, of course, the Daleks that we see in the very first Doctor Who and the Daleks movie with Peter Cushing from 1965. And the reason why we didn't think we'd ever see them is because the Doctor Who movies are under a separate license to the BBC TV series. So why have we suddenly got the Daleks from the movie in the normal Doctor Who range? Well, it's basically because when they were shooting The Chase back in 1965, the BBC were running low on Daleks. They wanted to bolster the number of Daleks that were appearing on screen, and so they borrowed some of the movie Daleks to use in that story. Now, we'd already seen one of these movie Daleks released in the character options line as this rather snazzy looking SFX Chase Dalek Guard, and as you can see, it shares the same basic colours, but some modifications were made to try and make them fit in with the other Daleks in that story. However, it was soon discovered in a later episode of The Chase that if you look very closely and don't blink, you can just see two Dalek guards hanging around in the background, and they are full movie Daleks. They haven't been modified in any way. They have the larger dome lights, as you can see here, the enlarged fenders. Nothing has been changed. They are just the props as they were seen in the film. And because of that small, tiny fraction of a second glimpse, it means that they are official TV Doctor Who Daleks, which means it's part of the TV Doctor Who license, which means Character was able to do a set of figures of them. So taking a look at the Daleks themselves, like I've said a number of times throughout this video, they look absolutely fantastic. The colours are so bright and vibrant, they really pop. They look like they've just stepped out of a comic book. They look amazing. There's some new tooling going on, of course. We've got these lovely new dome lights in bright red. They've got some nice detailing on them, the way that they've been sculpted. You can see all of the ridges that follow the exact sculpt of the original props. Really nicely done. This was one of the things that made me think we probably would never see these Daleks, because I just couldn't see there being an awful lot of reuse value for the tooling. But obviously they managed to find a way around it, and it's so good to actually see them with the proper dome lights rather than using something like the jam jar light off the Planet of the Daleks Supreme Dalek. The dome and the pivot section of the eye stalk are all painted the same blue. It's sort of a metallic blue, almost purpley colour. You can see when it catches the light, it sort of sparkles a little bit. And then the eye stalk is just the longer 60s eye stalks with the light blue rings and the black bulbous eye with the white iris. Again, all of the paint here very nice and crisp. Moving down to the neck bin, this has been finished in silver and black. And again, all the rings and the slats are all neat and painted with no bleeds. Then moving down to the shoulder section, you have the gold bands around the middle. Again, no paint bleeds here. And the overall colour of the Dalek is sort of like a bluish silver rather than a bright silver of the neck rings around the top. And I really like that. That really just differentiates it ever so slightly. The plunger has a mix of colours, glossy black for the top of the plunger, then you have some bright silver, and then you go to this same bluish silver as the main body for the rest of the plunger, and then the ball joint's a bright silver as well. And then you have the gun stick, which is also captured in a bright silver. Then moving down to the skirt, again we have the same metallic silvery blue colour for the main body, and then the same blue for the hemispheres, just like we see on the dome. Again, no paint bleeds, very neat and crisp. And then moving right down to the bottom, we have this lovely baby blue fender. That's all been cast in that one colour plastic, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's just so 60s, really bright colours. They look absolutely amazing. So in terms of articulation, it's exactly the same articulation that you expect with any Dalek toy. You have 360-degree mobility at the dome. The eye stalk pivots up and down, quite tight as well for the eye stalks on both of these. This one, in fact, is almost a little bit springy, but nice and stiff. They're not going to fall out. They're fastened in, which is really good. Ball-jointed manipulator arm, plunger, and gun stick. And then, of course, we have the 3 wheels on the bottom with the front wheel being able to circle around, so your Dalek can move around in all directions. This is the Chase Dalek Guard that came out in the SFX wave alongside these movie Daleks. So as you can see, the colours are quite different in places. The original SFX version has more of a standard metallic look, whereas the new ones are a bit brighter. The blue for the hemispheres and the dome are obviously very different. But overall, I think they look really great, and they do look lovely alongside the alternate versions used in the Chase. So there we go, guys. That is the Jungles of Mechanus set, and what an incredible set of Daleks. They look absolutely fantastic. So thrilled to finally have these in the collection. Like I said, figures we didn't think we would ever see, and here they are as a character online exclusive. Now, from what I've heard, these are apparently limited to 5,000, and they've already sold 4,000 of them. I think they're down to the last 1,000, probably less now while I'm recording this video. So if you haven't got hold of these yet, if you're on the fence and you're thinking, oh well, shall I, shan't I would definitely highly recommend getting a set, because once they're gone, they are gone. Apparently there are no plans to re-release these in any forms. If you don't want to miss out, I highly advise getting hold of a set right now before they become very sought after in the future. And one thing I should point out, that because these sets have been so successful, there are plans to do more online exclusives like this in the future. A beautiful set of Daleks, amazing work from Character Options, and yeah, we really have been spoiled this year with the B&M stuff, this and the 13th Doctor stuff early in the year. It's been a really good year to be a Doctor Who figure collector, and there's more on the way. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.